Hey guys, welcome back to Creativity and Inspiration. Sorry I didn't get video up last week. I have been sick with a terrible sinus infection. If you have them, you know how bad they make you feel. My face was so full. It was terrible. But anyway, today I was sitting here working in my journal, getting ready for my day. I have to make some videos, do some stuff, and as I turned the page, stuff started falling out everywhere onto the floor. So as I bent over to get it, I hit my journal and it closed. And it's like, this is annoying because I didn't exactly remember. See, I just dropped more stuff. And this is annoying because I wanted to get right to work. Instead, I'm having to bend over 80 times. And when you have a sinus infection, bending over is not good. Picking up stuff off the floor. So I thought, you know what? Let's make a quick little page hugger. I have a ton of the window envelopes left. I have a ton of window envelopes. Let's make a page hugger. It can store things and it can mark where I am in my journal. Great. Awesome. I made it. Here it is. Really cute, I think. I like it. And it's one that slips on the whole page. So you take your page, like that, and it slips on, just like that. And now it hangs out a bit. I know where I'm at. Not only is it a great page hugger, but it's also storage because the part that, the sleeve that slips over the page is also a pocket. So we'll put it on our page to mark it like that. But then when you flip it over on this side, which is the back of the sleeve, which I didn't decorate yet, I will. You can put things in it for storage. Like that. So it's storage on one side that will keep stuff from falling out of my journal. And on the other side, it's pretty. And it shows me where the heck I am in my journal at all times. So I thought, let's turn on the camera and let's make a few together. So I'm going to cue the opening and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we all have loose papers in our journals, and we all lose our places, right? I'm not the only one, I hope. So what I did was I pulled a bunch of stuff, and I thought we could make a full page hugger for our journal together. And I thought the first one we could make, since it's fall and it's almost the holidays, and how many of you are making an sorry about that. How many of you are making an organizer to keep like your fall, if you do a fall dinner, a Friendsgiving, a Thanksgiving, and then you do Christmas, Kwanzaa, then if you do Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, or maybe you just do a winter type celebration or no celebration at all, but you have to get organized during this time, and you make a very specific journal for this, because not only does it keep you organized, it's an organizer, but it's also memories. It does like 2 for 2. Do y'all make those? If not, guess what we're doing in our next video? We're making them. I've already started filming it. So that video will not be spontaneous. It has been planned and I am working on it. That will be out probably next Sunday, Monday. And this page hugger for that journal organizer, memory keeper, can go in it. So what do you start with? You start with an envelope. And it doesn't matter what kind of envelope. You start with, I have 2 here. This one's really big and it's a window envelope. And then this is junk mail. I bought it in a estate sale. It sent to the parents of Travis. It's an old letter from 1985 from the school district to this kid's parents. So, yeah, that's not good to end up in strangers' hands, guys. I mean, it doesn't have personal information. It's just kind of funny. So I have both of these, and this is what we're going to use. And I think we're going to marry our 2 envelopes together, and they're going to be what we use to create our full page hugger. Now, I really like this vintage one with the letter from the school. It's got patina on it, naturally aged, that sort of thing. But I don't like the writing. We're not going to keep the writing. In fact, we'll probably turn the writing inside. And then on the other side, we have our window envelope. The thing with a window envelope I have found over the years is they're great. You can put images behind the windows and stuff, but once you kind of decorate the inside, you can't use it. Because if you stick something in there, you run the risk of tearing up whatever scene you created in your envelope, and that's not fun. So you could do this with 2 plain envelopes if you don't want to decorate the inside. In fact, if I had to, I might use 2. You can use a window. Up to you. I just find it kind of, I used a window envelope on this one. And I got off an Etsy shop. I found some really cool legal size documents, old ads, that kind of stuff. They're right here. I'll put the shop down below. They're really cool. And I'm going to use them in some journals. Maybe in our organizing journal. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, I'll list the shop below. They are legal size. You need to be able to print legal size. But they're really cool. And this image was one of them. And again, I put it inside my window envelope, covered the outside, but I sealed it. Because once I put her in there, anything I stuck in there would have, rubbed, possibly tore, whatever. And I didn't want to do that. So if you want to use a window envelope and decorate the inside, by all means do. If you just want to use 2 solid front, or if you don't have solid front and you just want to treat your window envelope as solid front, do whatever makes you happy. I'm just going to show you this one. We're going to make this one for fall and decorate it. 2 envelopes, and they need to be the same size. Now, I'm going to switch you to this camera right here, and I'll see you in a second. So you can see these envelopes are the same size. We'll trim off the... So we're going to make these together, and they're going to slide over any page, but we're not going to sew the bottom so they're like totally enclosed like that, like the other one I made. This one slides over the page, both, as you can see. It slides over the page, so the page has to fit in this area. This one that we're going to make is going to be more open, because I don't know what size journals everybody has. Everybody might have different size pages. So I'm going to show you a way that you can make one that will fit any page in any journal. And if you have really a small journal, like a paper bag journal, I'm going to show you how you can make this work by simply cutting it. But I'm going to use 2 full-size envelopes, and we're going to stitch it closed on 2 sides. We're going to stitch it closed on the top and the back side. And this is what I'm calling the back side, and this is what I'm calling the front side, because our journal's open and it would fit on a page like that. So let me trim off all the excess. That's simple. Now I'm going to decorate both envelopes before I sew them together. And we'll start with the window envelope. And we're also going to use our letter about our child from 1985. I'm going to use this. I also have these great papers I got off of Amazon. And I like them because, I'll link them below. They weren't very much. There's like 4 packs of them. And there's an acetate, which I really love that. And then we've got these, and they're like newspaper, guys. And look, there's like a witch and stuff. So these are great. The texture's great. So we're going to use these as our base today. And then I just pulled some fall stuff. Of course, a lot of browns. Pulled some brown stamps. Some napkin leaves that are decoupaged on that. Magazine piece. A stamped piece. Some painted paper. Some, this isn't coffee dye. This is shoe polish. Then some coffee dyed paper. A leaf. Happy Thanksgiving. An owl. This slide, just because it's got the orange. Dried buttermilk. And then some orange parts of tickets. And like these ladies on here, if you wanted to use them on here, you could. I kind of like this one. Even though we're not doing like Halloween. I don't do Halloween. I don't celebrate it. But you do y'all. You know, everybody's different. And that's cool. We're going to use this one as a base. And I like her because she kind of does look witchy. Like I say, even though we're not doing a Halloween. Because this is going to go in our fall Christmas type planner journal. But anyway, there's a lot. These papers are awesome. Look at that. I mean, these papers are really cool. I'll link them down below. I wasn't going to tell y'all I was going to gatekeep. I'm sorry, but these are really cool. There's some green tints, some cleaner tints, as you can see. There's some well-aged tints. There's ones like that. I mean, these are all awesome. So, yeah, I love them. Okay, this is like my third time buying them. And maybe we'll use that one just because we're not making it for Halloween. We're making it for fall, but maybe that. And then we have to do the other side too. Now, am I going to do inside here and then do her like I did mine? On this one over here, what I did was I put only half her body fit in the window. So the second half I glued on the outside, but then I covered it up because I wanted to do this tag. But so half was in the window, half was out. And I think we'll probably do that with this one too. We'll put what fits, how much of her fits in the window. And then just her feet are going to be out and we'll put them hanging out. And maybe then we'll put some of this article with the witchy, kind of like that. So it'll be like that there, and her there. Yeah, I like that. And her feet into her dress and her feet. We want to kind of keep her out like that. Okay, that's what we're going to do, just like that. So let me cut her first. I got to get a visual mark where to cut her off at the bottom. Because we don't want to waste, you know. We don't want to waste. I'm just trying to figure out where to cut the bottom. And we're going to do it at the bottom of Satins right there. And then I'm just going to cut out a little bit around her like that. And then what I'm going to do is get her inside the envelope. And if some of the background from the envelope shows, that's fine because it's really cool. Okay, see, she fits perfectly right there. And then we're going to get our other, piece of paper and kind of figure out where to put it. There we go. Oops, our witchy lady moved though. So let's put her back. Get her back in spot. Alright, perfect. And then we're going to put Witchy Lady in spot. And there we go. Just like that. So that's what the inside of the window envelope is going to look like. Now, if you wanted to glue them, I would suggest taking the envelope apart on the bottom and the side so you can lift it up, put these inside, and then close your envelope back up. And that's what we're going to do. That's what I did on the other one. Just that way you're not... And you can just undo them very easily if you just peel along the ends. Like that. See? And if they're old, in fact, I'm just going to peel this end too. And you can glue now or tape, whatever you want to do, very easily. So again, I'm going to put her down. Love that placement right there. Like I said, if a little bit of the pattern shows, no big deal because it just kind of blends in. So I'm going to tape her. No, you know what? I'm going to glue her in because I'm going to be stitching all over this. And my sewing machine hates it when I stitch over that tape. Okay, I'm going to hold it down and glue it with me holding it. I am using the Art Glitter Glue today because I really prefer, if you've been here for any amount of time, I did a comparison of 12 glues, which I will put above. And as far as drying fast, ease of use, that kind of stuff, honestly, I found that Elmer's glue worked just as good as all these fancy glues. But because I bought these fancy glues to do that video, which I linked above, might as well use them, right? And this one I just happened to grab. It was closest to me. Now there will be a few of those that I didn't really like, so I will not be using. This was one that I liked. I liked Elmer's better. That was just my preference after seeing all of the tests I did, drawing, you know, that coverage, that sort of thing. And Elmer's glue is so much cheaper, and I think in the world we live in today, it's okay to use cheaper, but it's also okay to use up. You know, if you have stuff, use it up, because right now things are crazy expensive, and I live on a, what do you call it, a controlled income, you know, so there we go. That came out really cool. Now I just have to decorate all the rest, which I'm going to use the rest of these two pieces, kind of mix and mingle them around. And again, you know, have fun with your creating. If you have old books, use those. I just happen to have these papers, and I love them. And I think they're really perfect for this time of year. Oops. And yes, I know I'm supposed to put a pin in this. I will do so when I'm done, but not till then. And I'm putting the writing upside down, different from my witch article and my lady inside. I'm just going to kind of mix it all around. I'm going to stop putting the lid on it. So I'm just going to cover the outside of this envelope with the rest of the pieces from here. Just kind of hodgepodging them together. Oh, I am going to show you what I'm going to do with her feet, though. I want to make sure I cover a good part. So we're going to do that. And I'm just going to cut. There we go. Just like that. Then her feet are outside the envelope, while her body is inside the window envelope. One thing I like about Elmer's glue is you have time to move stuff around. So if you get something kind of out of place, you can move it. This stuff dries pretty quick, which is a good thing in some instances, but it's kind of pain in the butt in other. That's just my opinion. And you don't have to cover it all 100%. I'm actually going to mix in some of my, then I'm going to come in with some of my more decorative paper. You could cover this whole thing in the base papers, but why do that? Don't want to cover the feet up, so I'm going to make sure I don't do that. So I know where a lot of you live, it's starting to get colder, which is exciting. I can't wait. But let me ask you this. What are you eating for dinner? What kind of good food, fall foods are your favorite? Are you making, I don't know, apple pies or apple dishes with pies in it? Not necessarily apple pie, like it could be savory too. Savory, are you making sweet? What's your go-to? I kind of want breakfast for dinner tonight. What's your favorite breakfast food? I'm eating sausage. I love bacon, but I really have been wanting some hot sausage, which probably is a bad mistake for me because of my stomach, but you know what? I can't taste anything right now. You know, when you get sinus or allergies or cold or the flu, you can't taste. Well, I can't taste. I like that. That's just some painted paper. It looks good there. We might bring some of it up kind of like we're right here in this little section too. And then we might bring, where's the rest of my circle? Kind of up there, and then this down here. No, because you know what? I'm going to bring the leaves. Oh, I like that. But maybe I'll put the leaves on this side. Oh, I really like the leaves with the witch. What do y'all think? Yep. That we're gonna do that, and I am gonna cover up part of that, so like she's flying out of the leaves. Yep, like that. Now I'm trying my best not to glue this envelope shut because I want to stitch it instead. I think it'll look better, but I am closing the envelope up the inside because I decorated it like I said before, and it just causes issues. So I think for this part right here, we're going to put in some section of white showing. I think that's cool. We don't mind a little white. We don't want a lot of white, but maybe I'll use that. So far, loving this. It's giving a really cool vibe. Let's trim off anything extra that we don't need. And we're going to stitch our, remember our envelope is apart right now, because we put our stuff inside, but I have kind of glued it. But there we go, see? We're going to stitch her all up in a minute with some orange and brown thread, maybe. And then we're going to put a little bit of this across the top up here. Peel this up a little bit. And we're going to come in on this and then trim it all up. And remember, these are going to be full-size page hugger. This is going to be a full-size page hugger for fall planner memory keeper that we're making for the holidays. So there is that. Now we're going to just zhuzh it up a little, bit more. We're going to add some tickets over here maybe. I like that. And then maybe we'll add in our owl because of our witches. We'll put our owl on the other side. I think all we're going to do to this is add in some of these right here. And maybe cut out the bags of dried buttermilk. And put the dried buttermilk down here. And we're going to do that. We're going to do dried buttermilk across the bottom. So it adds a little bit of interest. There we go. Yep, let's glue all that, and this side is done. Just remember, fall can be anything. It can be pumpkins, apples, it can be leaves. It just can be anything. It's a lot of orange and brown. It definitely is orange and brown. There we go. So there's the first side, and now we're going to grab our other envelope, which has no window. And we're just going to cover it really quickly. And then we'll decorate it. And this one I'm doing in bigger sections because I don't have to be as careful with it like I did the other one. You know what this paper reminds me of on this side? It reminds me of a cow. Don't know why, just does. Because remember, a lot of this we're going to cover up. Well, not a lot, but some of it. Do I have any right in the center? Kind of torn up. Give it some interest. Gives it a little texture. These pages, though, guys, they're beautiful. They're just thin, like newspaper. I just really love using them. Now we're going to come in and break all this up. And I think we're going to do our... let me see what I have in the way of fall paper. I'll be right back. Hey guys, after searching, I found some fun, really cute fall scrapbook paper. And I thought, you know what? We're going to use it. And we're actually going to start with just the solid piece for both of these. That's going to be our back. And then we'll add a little bit of fun stuff to it. So I'm just going to cut out the back of this first one. And again, I love the way these turned out. And I've decided to make 2 instead of 1. But we are making that organizer for the holidays. And it is like going to be, you know, it's going to need organization because it's got to keep us organized. So I think this will be great. Okay, not perfect, but I'm happy. I'm going to glue that down. And then I'll cut the other one out really quickly. And I'm not... You know what? We're going to leave this part open. So we're only going to glue on this part right here. Because this envelope now is going to be some of the much needed storage as well as our page hugger. So we're going to do that and let... This paper is a little heavier, this scrapbook paper, so it'll help give my envelope some stability because we've got to add our page. We need to add our page hugger part. So we're going to trim this. And remember, we're making a full page hugger, so this will be good because this will keep our envelope very sturdy going forward. Now don't forget, we're going to ink and add some stitching in just a bit. So it's really strong. And that's what we want. We want to make sure this flap is strong. And then while that's drying, and like I said, if there's a sliver and you don't like it, put something on it. We are going to decorate this. We could come back and do that right there if you wanted to cover it up. So don't freak out yet. You'll have plenty of time to freak out, I'm sure, in a minute. Remember, this is an old vintage envelope. It's seen better days. So we are trying to just make it a little sturdier maybe than it has been. And like I said, if you see envelope, don't freak out. Now we're going to fold it to make sure our envelope still has a flap. There we go. Okay, it's kind of wet from all the glue, but that's okay. Now, let's fix the back so it's just as pretty as the front. And everybody will quit freaking out. Because I hear you. I hear you. You're definitely freaking out there. I'm going to take this little strip of paper right here and put it right there. But don't glue your envelope shut. So pick up the envelope. Wipe out the glue. You don't want to glue your envelope shut. That's a big no-no. I think we'll just put a piece of this kind of on the envelope right there, just to give it some interest. And that's going to hide that seam in the middle of our envelope flap. I'm going to put that up to the top, kind of like that. We're going to put this piece so it mimics over here, kind of bigger over here, so your eye gets a little balance. And then we're going to pull our leaf out some. And it's going to be like that. I think that looks really good. It's kind of balanced. So first let's go in and glue this down. I didn't glue the top yet, and you'll see why in a minute. Then we're going to put this back up here so I can see. See how we got a little bit of the leaf there poking out from under our pie. I like that. We're going to glue our pie down. Okay, there we go. Now this part that's sticking up is actually going to fold with our flap. But we're not going to glue it down because our flap, if you haven't figured it out yet, is what's going to hug our page. That's why we've reinforced our flap to make it stronger so it can do its job. Now, we're going to push everything down. And now it's time to do some stamping. So let's get our stamping stuff out. Oh, you know what? We could add these stamps. Nope, we'll save them. Okay, let me get some ink out. Oh, wait. This is going to bother me. This part that's not glued down because we don't want to glue our envelope down. So what we're going to do is cut it off. And we're going to do just like we did with the girl's legs. We're going to glue this to the flap. And that way, it'll still be a whole picture, but it won't be causing us consternation when we close our flap on our page. All right, now we're going to do our stamping and some, I feel like this needs something to kind of balance it out. Let's do stamping. I think let's do this color and see how it looks. Oh yeah, that looks, sorry, let me get all this out of the way. That looks much better. I like it with the stamping on it for sure. Okay. Yep, I like that. And we're gonna ink the edges. So there is our first page hugger done. Now, what I'm gonna do is show you how it's gonna work. But let's finish the other one first. This one's super simple. It's just gonna mark its page by using its envelope back here if you want to stitch it closed a little bit. but your extra storage is inside the envelope itself. So that's up to you. That's one very simple, very easy to do. And it's an easy concept. The next one we're going to do a little different. Okay, guys, so there are our 2 page huggers. They're decorated, but how do we find them in our book? And there's a couple of ways you can do this. One, just make them taller than every other page. That's why the design is the way it is, because you can put them on different levels of the page and see them out the top. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here's my personal journal, and we're just going to pick a random page in here. Okay, we're going to pick this page right here. So how would I know where this is? Well, it just slides on like that. You close it, and guess what? Can you see it? Of course you can. So making them where they are full page huggers gives you the option to put them anywhere on the page, so they stick out higher than the top of the rest of your pages, and they're easy to spot. So I made it simple with the design, and that's why I made the one I made that way. But there is another way you can do this. Just adds another layer of decor to them, and that is you take some type of glittery I'm here in your face material that shows up, and then you can use a tag or a ticket. We're going to use these tickets. And you can cover them in a sticker. You can cover them in a washi tape. You can cover them in anything you want. So we're going to do 2 different ones here. I think those colors there. And for our lady, our witchy lady, we're going to do gold. And so you take your ticket, your whatever you want, whatever you're going to call it, you can trim it down. So I'm going to cover this, and then I'm going to trim it down. And we're going to fold it over and do the same thing on this side, because what if you pick up your journal backwards, right? You got to be able to see frontwards and backwards. Alright, now you can fold over, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to trim it off so it's all glittery. Okay, there we go. There it is. Then you can stitch it, you can sew it, but attach it to the top. When this one was open, what I would have done is stuck it down in there, and it would have been sewn in between it, but I didn't do that, so it's going to be like out on that side. And make sure both sides are trimmed enough. Because you want it sparkly on both sides. And then you just attach it. Okay, so that is one way to make one. That will definitely show at the top. This other one we're going to do very similar, only different. Similar but different. We're going to put down some washi. And this one, hold on, because you can see through it, I'm going to use my white out roller. Okay, guys, this is one of those whiteout rollers. I use them all the time when I'm doing my, my journal planner for the week. If you don't have one and you want to, you could don't use something with print if you're going to use thin washi tape, but that's up to you. You could use, paint, white paint. Just do whatever you have. I have this washi tape. I have a bunch of fall washi tape. It's all from Amazon. I'll link it below if you want to go check it out. If you don't, that's fine too. But I'm putting a base of this plain orange down. Whoops, that didn't go as planned. Plain orange down. And then we're gonna personally, I like the sparkly one, but I am just a sparkly girl now. Okay, and then once you fold it over your edges if you want. Okay, now, and this side looks really bad. We'll just work on this side. And then I'm going to put down one in the center because I think that pattern matches my owl. And I'm going to put one down on the center of this side. Okay. And then we're probably going to trim off half of that. And a little bit over here. Alright, so we trimmed off all the white. And then I'm going to put a fun sticker. And depending on what you were using it for, depends on maybe what kind of sticker you want to put on it. Do I have a leaf left? Yeah, let's just do the leaf. The stickers are from Amazon as well. I'll link them below for you. But here's the deal. When I get stickers and they've got the white around them and I don't want the white, I just trim it off, guys. Yes, it's a little annoying to do, and I don't do it perfectly probably, but I do get the majority of it off. And to me, in my little brain, it looks better than having all that bright white, especially if I'm putting it on something that doesn't have a lot of white. Okay, so you cut all the white off, and then you just peel off your sticker, put it on the little tabby thing you made, and then attach it at the top because the leaf matches what I did everywhere else. And again, you could glue this behind your paper if you wanted to. However you want to attach them, attach them. Now, I really don't want these on mine, but I will attach them with a little washi tape just so you get the idea when it's in the book, in a journal. There we go. Boom. Now we made this image one-sided. You, of course, could make it two. You could put another sticker on this side if you wanted to. You know, make them yours. I'm just here giving you some ideas and showing you what is going to be in my holiday planner journal memory keeper that I will be doing a giveaway for maybe, or selling it. I don't know. But anyway, again, now with the little tabs, you can put them full page, but see, you know exactly where your full page hugger is. That one needs a little extra tape to hold it. But anyway, you get the idea of how you can use these in any type of journal, really. And you can make them anything. They don't have to be fall. They can just be a random images that you like and you create with. But remember, they're all serving double duty. This one, I'm using the actual... This one, the hugger, is a piece of paper sewn onto the back. And it is a large pocket for all of my stuff that was falling out, which is what started this. This one, the actual envelope, is the storage for all those bits and pieces that are falling out of your journals and driving you nuts. And this lady, the storage is actually a pocket on the back here. So they all are storage as well as being page huggers, so you know where the heck you are in your journal. So guys, I hope you enjoyed all of our full page huggers. Like I said, our fall themed ones are going to be in a journal that I am currently filming. It's a journal planner memory keeper. It's a journal planner memory keeper, so you're going to want to keep an eye out for that video. I'm hoping it comes out on Sunday, Monday. I'm, like I said, filming it. It's a lot, so hopefully. If not, you'll have a short and then you'll have that video. But these will be used in that journal. I hope you enjoyed making these full page huggers with me and maybe using up some envelopes you had, but also getting all those loose papers and cards and tags that are in our journals that we use every day that fall on the floor. These will help get it under control, because not only are they fun and show you where you're at, but they also are storage. So guys, take care. Have an amazing rest of your day, rest of your week. And I will see you Sunday, Monday